A very good morning to all of you. We are starting with our program. We are starting with our program. Good morning once more again. My name is Joshua Mario, and I'll be your Director of Ceremonies for the official opening of this first joint annual international conference between the University of Namibia and the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, to just start off, allow me to just look at the protocol that we have. Would like to acknowledge the presence of our guest speaker, Dr. Raymond Nanda, the Deputy Executive Director for the Ministry of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation. I'd also like to acknowledge in our midst our very own, the host, Dr. Errol Naumab. Thank you very much for being here. We also want to acknowledge deans of faculties, both at UNAM and at NAST. I see at NAST we have got Prof. Semente. At UNAM, probably maybe in absentia. We also want to acknowledge, sorry for that, before that, also in absentia, the Vice Chancellor for the University of Namibia, Prof. Kenneth Matengu in absentia. We also want to acknowledge all HODs here present, from both from UNAM and NAST. We also want to acknowledge the invited guests. I hear we have got international invited guests. Please, you are also acknowledged for your time here with us. And all those that are invited, participants, dear students, staff, both at UNAM and NAST, and all the print media, social media, everybody here present, please, we acknowledge your presence right here. Before I call on Dr. Naumab for the welcoming remarks, allow me to say that this is the first joint conference that the two universities have through their faculties. The Faculty of Commerce, Management and Law, that's from the University of Namibia, and the Faculty of Commerce, Human Sciences and Education, that's now from the Namibia University of Science and Technology. So it's a joint venture, it's a joint conference that we are looking into dissecting and discussing pertinent issues that are critical in our societies, that are critical in our space, that are critical in the economic arena that we are living in. It's actually international, and we'll also have participants from around Africa and around the globe. So ladies and gentlemen, you have come to the right place. You have come to the right, let's say, geographical location where we will be able to interact and learn from one another. But having said that, without further ado, allow me to call on the podium Dr. Errol Naumab. Hand of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Director of Proceedings, for this opportunity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to take a moment to rest on the protocol that was established by the program director, but by extension, to recognize the presence of our Deputy Executive Director in the Ministry of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation, also to recognize the presence of representatives of both public higher education institutions here. Professor Kenneth Matengu, who's not here this morning, perhaps he's on his way. His executive dean and other members representing that university. I see presence of our acting deputy vice chancellor, research, innovation and development, Dr. Colin Stanley. I recognize the presence of other EXCO members here and the executive dean in the Faculty of Commerce, Human Sciences and Education, Professor Efigenia Semende. Ladies and gentlemen, my task here this morning is very simple, is to welcome you. So I'm going to say welcome. But don't forget what I was asked to do. I want to share with you at least 6 reasons that I believe is important in the context of our gathering this morning. First of all, is to recognize that this conference is held in a hybrid format. It means we have people who are presential and also virtual. I think this is very important to recognize that given the advent of COVID-19 and that we come out of a very difficult period, platforms of this nature allows us to be able to sit together, discuss, break bread, and share ideas. And we really relish and appreciate such platforms. So therefore, I would like to thank the organizers who've managed to pull off this major event in such a short space of time and being able to assist us to meet and converge, both virtual and also presential. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a joint conference. It's a joint conference. What does that mean? It is a joint conference of 2 major public higher education institutions in Namibia. Why is this significant? It is significant because it allows the transcendence and sharing of knowledge between the 2 institutions. It in essence means it is the convergence of capital. Capital in both human capital, knowledge capital in its all forms, tacit and implicit. It allows us to, as public institutions, join hands. And I think it is the first time, at least in my knowledge as the Vice Chancellor of this university, that we have an event of this magnitude. So congratulations to the organizers. Let us give them a round of applause. The other aspect why this is significant is it is an international conference after all. Why is international conference important? It is important because for us as a University of Science and Technology and as a public institution, we value internationalization. In fact, internationalization is a very specific goal in our strategic imperatives as a university, and I believe also for UNAM, it is an important element. Why is it important? Internationalization is important not only because it allows us to look at best practices globally, look at how we leverage international research and the body of knowledge internationally, and so it informs our thinking. But also internationalization is important from an African epistemology perspective. It allows us as Africans to discover our own paths, create our own knowledge, so that local becomes indeed global. And I think that these kind of conferences, particularly where universities converge, will help us to create that body of knowledge that will put public institutions on the global map. The other aspect why this conference is important is if one reflects on the focus and the thematic areas of this conference. If you look at the theme, The theme of this conference is Sustainable Development and Global Challenges in the 21st Century. You would agree with me, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a topical issue. First of all, it allows us to reflect on the Sustainable Development Goals and how far we have come with respect to Agenda 21. It's important from both global perspective, but also from a national perspective. From a national perspective, it is important because it comes at a time where, as a country, we are looking at how, despite the fact that we are a small country, how Namibia can play an important role in global decarbonization, therefore contributing to the fight against climate change. You know that it is now public knowledge that Namibia is set to become a major role player in terms of the green energy revolution in Africa. And therefore, it is important that when we have themes such as this, sustainable development and global challenges, it links up with our national focus. Also, it is important, it comes at the right time, because whilst Namibia is talking about utilizing green hydrogen to support global decarbonization, but also to support the transformation of our economy on the backdrop of the green hydrogen revolution, Namibia at the same time is talking about discovery of arguably one of the largest oil reserves in the Southern African region. It is important because this kind of conferences should help us to highlight, explore, and research how Namibia should responsibly and sustainably utilize our natural resources, including oil and gas discoveries. So I'm therefore looking forward to the conversations that will unfold during this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is timely. It's timely for the following reasons. From a national perspective, Dr. Nanda, you would recognize from a national perspective, this year we've had a series of very important conferences. We've had the Fourth Industrial Revolution National Conference. We had the National Education Conference. We had SAFRI Conference, this is Southern Africa Regional Forum on Artificial Intelligence. Recently also at NAST, we had two major international conferences focusing on engineering and sustainable engineering. This is an illustration of how universities contribute to the body of knowledge that informs not only policy imperatives, it enhances national dialogue on important aspects. Both NAS and UNAM has been playing a significant role in the successful running of these conferences. And when people talk about impact and relevance of universities, Deputy Executive Director, conferences exemplifies that notion. Finally, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm looking forward to as part and parcel of this conference is in essence the impact of a conference. We have to make sure, and I call on to both the organizers and delegates and participants of this conference, that we are informed by quality in terms of the substance of papers that we are presenting, but also the quality of the conversations of the papers that would be presented. This is very important because quality will continue to enhance our research standing as public institutions to help us becoming more competitive as universities that are research-led, research-intensive universities. Also, quality is important because beyond this conference, it will help us to look at the possibility of the translation of the body of knowledge that would come out of this conference. The translation of the body of knowledge is with respect to how it will inform policy imperatives, enhance national dialogue, but also a possibility that it can lead to high-end intellectual property. If we can derive high-end intellectual property, it will help to look at the business end of research, possibilities of commercialization and licensing of our research to impact social and economic activities. Ladies and gentlemen, these are my small contributions to welcome you, particularly to welcome you to NAST, and also to welcome those who are here in attendance, international colleagues and partners who are here. Welcome to NAST and welcome to Namibia. And I hope that you have constructive and fruitful deliberations. I thank you.
Another hand of applause, please. Thank you very much for those welcoming remarks, Doctor. Thank you. Now that we have been welcomed, I also just want to have some house rules. For those who may be new on our beautiful campus, for the ablutions, you may use any exit doors but they are on my far right. If you just go down, to your right hand will be the male side, and on your left will be the female side. Please feel free and be comfortable. And please, your safety is our primary concern. So if you may want more information, you may also get the team outside for further directions. All right. Just to stem it off just pick up points from what our VC just alluded that this is this is an important encounter because it actually brings in value in terms of capital in all forms, very human and all others. And also it's a first of its kind. First of its kind. I must say that history has been written down. Either you're a participant, either you're a presenter, either you're in attendance, you are part and parcel of history. Just give yourself a hand of applause, please. And also, if you, well, you may extract whatever you can extract, but for me, I was the first MC of the first joint conference. So that's how I'm making history. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you very much. And we are also reminded that these platforms create knowledge. These platforms create new paths. These platforms are here to be explored so that we're able to understand our circumstances, our challenges, that we are able to even bring about solution within ourselves. Therefore, let's make use of each and every moment, each and every opportunity given to us within these 2 days. And also, I'm reminded to just read this, what somebody wrote here is just beautiful. They say research is the systematic investigation and study of materials and sources to establish facts and arrive at new conclusions. And they continue saying, the research actually aimed at the creation of new knowledge or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way to generate new concepts, methods, and understanding. Don't you think it's just wonderful? And they even continue saying that the aim of research is to help the progress of society by advancing knowledge through scientific theories, concepts, and ideas. Hence, allow me to end with 2 quotes from Albert Georgi, who says, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to actually do what nobody, or rather to think what nobody else has thought. That is actually from Albert Georgi. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, allow me to now call upon our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker, the Deputy Executive Director from the Ministry of Higher Education, Teaching and Innovation, and that's Dr. Raimo Nanda. Please, can we give a hand of applause as he comes to the podium?
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I deliver the remarks, the official remarks on behalf of the ministry, I must say I'm indeed honored to be here this morning. Many of you might not know that I'm also a product of NAST. Yes, I am a product of NAST. Dr. Errol Naumap, Vice Chancellor of NAST, Professor Kenneth Matengu, in absentia, Vice Chancellor of UNAM, in absentia, Dr. Andrew Nkondo, also in absentia, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Teaching, Learning and Technology at NAST, Dr. Colin Stanley, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Partnerships, Professor Fingenia Sementer, the Executive Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Human Sciences and Education at NAST, Professor Jacob Nyambe, also in absentia. I believe most of the colleagues are still to join us this morning. The Executive Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Management and Law at UNAM, all professors and all faculty staff members and students from both institutions, panel members present here, the organizing committee of the first joint annual conference of 2022, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my singular honor to stand here in front of you once again at this first joint international conference hosted by the University of Namibia and the University of Science and Technology. Indeed, the previous years have been very, very challenging, faced with the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic that has ravaged the world. The pandemic has taught us to rethink the way we should offer education. Now that the pandemic has subsided, we focus on sustainable development and global challenges in the 21st century. UNAM is hosting this joint annual conference with its sister institution, NAST. And it is the first of its kind. The conference, as we heard from Dr. Naumap, is going to be hosted through a blended face-to-face and online presentations. This joint conference is based on our fundamental principles of core values and principles and pursuit of excellence, in which we see research as the cornerstone of intellectual growth and social development. Research is therefore valued as a vibrant culture that nurtures the ground for innovative, novel ideas and applications practiced by the university community. It is with no surprise, ladies and gentlemen, that the Ministry of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation has categorized research as a critical area necessary for achieving sustainable development goals in Namibia. It is a unique area that the ministry requires essential skills development. I'm pleased to witness diverse research topics lined up in the program of this event for the conference. It is my view and belief that research output presented here at this conference include collaborative efforts with our esteemed stakeholders, particularly the communities around us and in Namibia as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to emphasize that universities are meant to interact with the community and share novel ideas from the community, transforming the ideas into novel inventions. The developed world grows through novel ideas and research collaboration with the community through entrepreneurial centers established to nurture ideas. In short, ladies and gentlemen, universities are established for the community and not as a ground for intellectuals only. We need to apply our minds towards these lines if we are to turn our economy around and transform into a developed world soon. Together we can, and yes, we can work with the community. As a ministry, we have noticed an increase in basic research from the sister universities and other institutions of higher learning around here in Namibia. We urge you to consider more applied research that remains meaningful and relevant to sustainable development and global challenges during the 21st century. We know that numbers matter in mathematics, but the quality of research produced and research influence social and economic impact. The number of patents, technology transfer, etc., are what matters. As a result, we have noticed substantial increase in the number of basic research outputs conducted by the university community and stakeholders, with fewer patents or novel ideas. It is encouraging to note this gradual increase in such research, as it indicates to us as a ministry that the will to engage in research is active in our institutions and is moving in the right direction. Director of Ceremonies, your contributions and focused engagement in your research work areas impact the quality and quantity of the Namibian higher tertiary education landscape. Furthermore, it is permitting excellent standards of research protocols, methodology, methods, and refined research culture, and providing timely solutions to the humanitarian crisis, particularly during the pandemic period that ravaged the world. I want to thank you that on that note and on behalf of the ministry. As a ministry, we know that the sister universities have established research as a strategic goal. We earnestly believe that undergraduate and postgraduate programs cultivate and develop deep research competencies and skill sets that nurture graduates for future independent research after university life. It is therefore essential to acquire research knowledge that remains indispensable for future use for the development and growth of Namibia and the world at large. Your research contributions should know no boundaries at all. We all know now that research is universal and more important, especially in these times of imminent pandemics. Thus, we emphasize the need to acquire knowledge of doing research and making research an integral part of learning in whatever we do at NAST, UNAM, and other institutions operating in Namibia. We need to constantly remember that the purpose of research is to inform action, prove, negate, sensitize, and contribute to developing novel ideas and knowledge in specific fields of study. Let us continue to cherish these values and continue to grow research at our sisters institutions. Above all, in interacting with others and sharing individual dreams, facilitate the critical thinking process that is indispensable for generating novel ideas necessary for exemplary research and remains the bottom line of doing research. Finally, I noticed that the first joint annual conference, international conference, 2022 program is rich with cross-cutting research to be showcased by both institution researchers and stakeholders, not as a competition, but by sharing novel ideas. This provides action-packed program that will keep you on the edge of your seats as you witness the events unfold. With these few words, Honorable Vice Chancellors, Deputy Vice Chancellors, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely welcome you all to the first joint annual international conference 2022 hosted by UNAM and NAST. And I wish you peace, love, harmony, and also wish you to enjoy the proceedings lined up for the next 2 days. Stay safe, and I thank you.
Another hand of applause, please. Indeed, thank you very much, Dr. Nanda. Indeed, quite captivating. The pointers, collaboration. You know, research is like being in a class and you want to be that student who doesn't want to share. Have you ever experienced those students who don't want to share? In the test, they are top, A+, they don't want to share. And you realize that towards the end, everybody says, oh, because you don't want to share, we'll also not share where the venue of the exam is. So you'll find out you have got the knowledge, but you do not know where the venue was. So you failed because you did not collaborate with others where the venue was for you to go past. So research really needs that collaboration, partnership, and also interact with the community. And as you interact, also transform the community. Very, very important. And not only that, but we are also reminded that we need to look into ideas and not only have these ideas, but we need to nurture these ideas to create value out of that. And also to consider applied research. And the underlining word was there, together we can. Together we do what? We can. There's no the word I in the word team. because team means stands for together, everyone achieves more. Thank you very much, Doctor, for that. And also, excellent standards of research are to be encouraged. Excellent standards of research are really to be encouraged, and also acquire research knowledge for future use. We look at sustainability. We just don't want to end it here, but we want to move and move and move. Allow me to also look at what Antoinette Exupéry says. It says, as for the future, your task is to foresee, like to foresee it. Okay, it's not to foresee it, but to enable it. All right, and that can only be possible through sustainable thinking, sustainable collaboration, and so on and so forth. And Arthur Doyle says, it is a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. It's a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have joined us, you have joined the two-day conference of the first joint annual international conference between UNAM and NAS under the theme Sustainable Development and Global Challenge in the 21st Century. As if that's not enough, Albert Einstein says, if we knew what we were doing, it will not be called research, wouldn't it? If we knew what we're doing, then why research? You know it already, go take it. But we research, we look at facts, we look at everything, and then we say, aha, this will be the direction. Why? Because of that. Who? Because of, all those things. I think that in itself just makes a lot of sense to sustain, to collaborate, and to engage more and more. Ladies and gentlemen, sit, relax, buckle up as we move towards the end of our official opening. There's a lot prepared in store for you, so please do not leave, do not move. As we now move on, just a slight change on our program. We're supposed to have our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Kenneth Matengu from UNAM, to do the vote of thanks. Due to unforeseen circumstances, he's not here with us. But they say leaders are always present. And because of that, we also have his presence with us here, and that will be done by Ms. Hilia Haufiko, who will come and do the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Haufiko.
Thank you so much, Director of Ceremonies. Vice Chancellor of the Namibian University of Science and Technology, Dr. Naumep, Deputy Executive from the Ministry of Higher Education, Dr. Nanda, Dr. Colin Stanley, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Partnerships, the NAST Management in absentia. It is indeed a profound honor to be doing this vote of thanks on behalf of my Vice Chancellor, our Executive Dean in absentia. I also recognize the presence of Mr. Biekes, our Associate Dean, School of Accounting from the University of Namibia, all executives from the University of Namibia, NAST in absentia, and also all our HODs present, HODs from the University of Science and Technology, all our invited guests, our speakers, our presenters, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. the devastating effects of COVID-19 has taught us a lot. We're faced with a lot of challenges, economically, socially, and so much more. And I think it is just befitting, this occasion is just befitting to elaborate on how intense these challenges or how intense these consequences or how intense these effects had on us in so many ways, socially, economically. And it is indeed a befitting opportunity to be able to understand the challenges that are lying ahead and also how we are going to go about in order to sustain us in the future. So ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor to have this conference that obviously is going to render a lot of insight, a lot of information, and also just to bring more teachings and knowledge on all these challenges that we are faced with, and also how we are going to go about it. Mine was just to give a vote of thanks and on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, and I'm just going to do that. So I'm not going to say much. First of all, I think it's just to give a hand and an appreciation for the two universities that have collaborated to do this conference. I know it was not easy. I was in constant contact with Ms. Shiweda, who was chairing the committee that was driving and that was organizing this conference. So I know exactly what you have gone through, and also the very much the nights that you, the sleepless nights that you had to endure just to conclude and to finally have this conference, our very first joint conference that we are now having. And I think let us give a round of applause for the committee for, I think, for a well-executed plan. And also, I think, is to extend a warm appreciation to the official sponsor, NAMCO, who has made it possible for us, who has assisted us in financially and otherwise. And another hand of applause. And also just a hand of applause for the caterers and everyone else that that will make sure that we are going to have refreshments during our sessions. A warm thank you very much. Please, at the risk of not mentioning anyone, everybody is welcome. We are looking forward to the deliberations. And thank you so much, and thank you.
Another hand of applause, please. And Ms. Aufiku, thank you as well for the vote of thanks. All right. Thank you very much for the vote of thanks. We have been thanked just for the official opening. The way the program was set is just, you know, when you are traveling for a journey, you warm the car, you pack, and you see your tires, the pressure. You look at all other aspects, oil and everything, so the spare wheel and all those. So that's just what we have done. So please, it's not the end of it all. We have just taken off. I see there was a hand. Platform. Oh, no one is. Oh, they are still in the lobby. All right. We'll look into that. Our delegates, there's something for you. There's something for you that's coming, and it has arrived. It has arrived. It's just to say thank you for being, and also while they are our guests are being handed their goodies, allow me to also just mention what's in your bag. All right, in your bag you have a wonderful bag, wonderful one, multi-purpose. You can also use it to go do shopping. You know what I mean? So you don't need to pay those $1 every week, $1 every month. So you have that. Now in your bag you have the program. Okay, and you also have got the booklet of abstracts from different presenters, and you have a USB. And guess what? How many gigs? Maybe some of you just say, maybe it's just those ones. It's 32 gigs. So please make sure that you have that USB intact to just help you with storing your information. And also there you also have a pen and a book, a journal or a booklet, so to say. And also it comes along with your name tag and your lanyard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just our gift to you. Please, as you check around your bag, that's actually what you should have in your bag. And please have your bag closed with you. It's not identifiable, so if it's lost, it's at your own risk. Please make sure that you are with your bag wherever you go, so that you can just keep your belongings close to you. Thank you very much. We also have a picture session here. Picture session of our delegates. Dr. Colin, you are also being as pictures are taken. Allow me to share this quote from the Park Cora, where it says research is actually, sorry, Zora says research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. So it's actually a formalized curiosity. You are curious to know more and more, and so you research more and more. All right. Please, a hand of applause to our delegates as they are being as we are taking memory. Thank you very much. Wonderful. A hand of applause to the VC, please. Wonderful. I'm only seeing a few clapping hands. Don't worry, there's food also available. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right. Wonderful. Unfortunately, our VC and his team will have to leave to attend to other commitments, but they are here in spirit. So thank you very much. You may be excused. Another hand of applause as they are excused. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was made possible by the three institutions, NAMCO, is also one of our big sponsors to make this conference a reality in partnership with NAST and UNAM. Please, a hand of applause. All right, thank you very much for that. We also, please, dear participants, delegates, if you are around, please approach people with a shirts that I have inside here. I'll just remove the upper coat as well after this. Please, for any clarifications, information, approach the colleagues in red and white. Am I right? They say men are colorblind. Red and white, right? Yes, red and white. At least I'm not wonderful. All right. For further instructions or maybe information that you may need or that may be useful to you, you can find out on anything about the conference. Now we are at that stage where we now need to go for a break. But before the break, allow me to just go with you through the program. Now the program will be a 2-day one. So today we are just focusing on day one. All right. So we will also have breakaways. For the remainder of the day, we will have breakaways in three venues. This where we are is Auditorium 1, and we have Auditorium 2. Just when you get out of this auditorium, the next one at the back, that will be Auditorium 2. And then we have got Auditorium 3 just opposite to that. The good thing is that it's actually labeled as such. In Auditorium 1, during our breakaways, day 1, in this Auditorium 1, we'll have presentations on political science, international relations, and global health crisis. All right, for the remainder of the 2 days, Auditorium 1 will be used for the breakaway sessions, all those papers that are in line with political science, international relations, and global health crisis. All right, and we'll also have the links of our colleagues who are who are not here present. We'll have opportunities for Zoom and also for Microsoft Teams. All right, and you can see also the topics and the colleagues who will be presenting, and the presentation will go until 5 o'clock. That's now 1700 hours. Of course, there is a lunch break in between 1 and 2, and we'll be having lunch at the hotel school down. We'll just a 5 to 6 minutes walk. And also we will have a tea break in the afternoon between 15:30 to 1600 hours. So please stay around. There are those breaks just to relax a bit as we continue listening and engaging with what has been prepared for us for the day. And Auditorium 2 will look at contemporary economic issues. Auditorium 2 will look at all the papers that are focusing on contemporary economic issues. And you will have your venue in Auditorium 2. And the same format also applies, the lunch breaks and also the tea breaks in the afternoon, all right? And Auditorium 3 will look at business and accountancy for sustainable development. So all papers relating to business accountancy for sustainable development will be presented in Auditorium 3. And the breaks apply as well, the lunch break as well as the tea break in the afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to attend to a theme of your interest, either Auditorium 1, political and the other aspects, Auditorium 2, and then Auditorium 3. We also have links created for each venue. So should you have colleagues, who may be interested into specific topics based on the specific theme and they are not here with us, you may just request and they can get the link and listen attentively to what they are interested into. That is just the modalities we wanted to actually share with you. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like us to break for tea break. And please, we urge that do not take the utensils to the labs so that we can have it all centralized, so that when the come and change all those things, they have all intact. And also just to have just ease of use within our environment. Let's just use the utensils right there, and then we can leave it there as well. I'm just conveying the message I got from the catering department. All right, so please, it's a conference. I don't want you to be tense, relax. When you walk out, just smile. Even if you don't see anybody, just smile. It's a conference of interaction, you know, knowing one another, knowing each other's interests in terms of research and everything. You may never know. You may leave out already with 3 or 4 prepared papers already as ideas, and you can sit around and actually convert them into papers, books, and articles, and you name it, because we know that a single idea can be converted in something great. With that said, on the MCs and the director's desk for now, I go on a pause until probably tomorrow when we do the final closing. That's when you'll see me again. For now, I'm just part of you. Any information you may need, you may also approach me. With that said, all the best, and we can make use of all exits.